The following is an interview I had with a Dominican self-published author who goes by the pseudonym Serlina Rose. Greetings listenership, welcome to TLC, Tropical Literature Creatives, the program where we interview authors of Caribbean heritage about themselves and about their literary works. Today we have with us Serlina Rose, author of a number of books, one of them including Island Girl Affection. Serlina, welcome to the program at this time.
Thank you.
Okay, Serlina, usually it's sort of like a tradition with persons who I host. I usually ask them to recommend something that they try when they visit their home country. But before I even get to that, which country are you from?
Well, I am from the lovely small nature island of Dominica. I'm sure everybody heard of it. I mean, we are always being mistaken for Dominican Republic, but no, we're the nature island.
So, if it is I were to visit Dominica, what would you recommend that I try? What food or what place would you recommend that I go to?
Well, I know that I would recommend in food terms of food, the mountain chicken, though I haven't tried it because I am a vegetarian, of course.
Okay.
But I'll definitely recommend it, as well as our Creole dish, that is our fig. Well, we say fig in local terms, but it's banana and salt fish. Or you could also try out the quaim. We call it quaim, but anyways, the right would not call me, but you can also try that. Now, in terms of places, there are quite a lot of natural sites and heritage sites that you could visit around the entire island. We have waterfalls, we have lakes. Where we host the second largest lake in Dominica. We have the boiling lake. You can also try that visiting. I mean, it's quite a bit of a hike, but it's still enjoyable because the view is just splendid. And the little villages in between, there's you never fail to meet friendly people that would say, okay, well, let me take you to the beach, or let's go and have a little drink somewhere in a little bar or something. So yeah, it's good with various things that I could recommend. So just come and just be free and relax.
Okay. So you guys heard it from Serlina. Come be free, come relax, come to Dominica. Alright, Serlina, as I was mentioning, one of the books that you would have written is Island Girl Affection. What are some of the other books that you would have written?
I have also written Cherished Virtues. It's a collection on the theme of gratitude and thanks. It's my second book. I have also written Resilient Roots. It's a personal collection of poems that was just recently published in December. If you want to read about being strong or enduring from a woman's perspective, you can always try that book. But it's based on parts of my life, and it was meant to encourage anybody to read it, because I mean sometimes my perspective of being a strong person may not be somebody else's perspective, but it could also help and touch somebody. And the most recent book that I have written is Paradise Isle. It's based on my home island, Dominica.
Okay.
On the theme, the nature island. And well, the next one will soon be published this month.
Okay. It's quite a number of books that you have published so far. Just for clarity, you write poetry, am I correct?
Yes, I write poetry, and well, I have a work in progress that's not poetry, but yeah, I write poetry and publish poetry for so far.
Why poetry? Why not like another form of writing? I know that you're working on something else, but your initial works being poetry, I mean, is there a reason you pursued this type of literature?
To be honest, I never really thought of myself as a poet.
Okay.
I've been writing it, but I never really thought I was that kind of person. I know I was always prone to writing a novel, and I've been working for years from a child to now, working on the scenes and different things and what I have, seeing in my head. So I say it's a novel. But recently when I started college, my professor was teaching, the different perspective of poetry and stuff like that because I'm majoring in English. And then I get the insight, but hey, I've been writing poetry all along. So then through that, I decided to, refine my work and have it out there. And not just based on that, over the years, I have joined several writing groups online, and the impact of the Twitter community of writers, poets especially. I've picked up a few little things now and then, and I'm submitted some of my poems in different books that's overseas, and boom, I was like, hey, I'm officially a poet because I have pieces of my poems published in various books out there. So why not just, put it all together and have it under my name? So yeah, that's how I end up being a poetry writer. But I never really thought of me being a poetry writer until recently. I was only based on writing my novel.
Okay. Having put together these books, and you would have had to publish them yourself, can you tell us why did you choose to self-publish as opposed to go through the traditional means of publishing?
I did try to go through the traditional means because I've done vast research over the years of getting my books out there, especially, writing a novel and stuff like that. But the cost is just ridiculous. Because just before I started going and published my poetry book as an indie writer, I had this traditional publishing house. I sent my manuscript to them. They read it, and when they got back to me, the price and cost they asked me was just too much. I really couldn't make it because if I have to think of it, I would have to go and take a big loan, ask somebody to guarantee it to me, and I wouldn't even be able to pay back. So when I thought of it, I considered and weighed it, and sometimes the royalties I might get may not be all that, but being somebody with a mind of my own, I was like, why not just try it on your own? So if it fails or it doesn't, or it survives, you take all that responsibility on yourself. So I went into self-publishing. My main goal right now for my books is not to make like a vast income or anything. It's just to get my name out there and to get people inspired by my work. Traditional publishing, I will work up to it, hopefully, if I could ever meet the course, that is, or I'll just stick to being self-published.
Being a writer like yourself, let's use Island Girl Affection as an example. How long did it take you to get this book published, from conception to getting like a printed copy in your hand?
To be honest, I've been writing 4 years, but I never really thought of publishing poetry, like I said. But when I did make up my mind to actually publish it, this wasn't the book I had planned to publish. Resilient Rose was the book I planned to publish because it would have had about 100 plus pieces of poetry. But then I was like, no, when I go back and do some research, I was like, you have to start off with something to make people have a feel of your books, and then you can know what comes after. So then I take pieces of the poem from various manuscripts that I have, because 4 books or 5 books is not all that I have to publish.
Yes.
And then I put it into a chapbook, which is Island Affection, and then I published it out there. So when I put it together, it was in a matter of hours, and then it took me a little while because I have to play around with the cover to get it the right way. And most of my covers, I try to make sure it's like local and feature my home island. So I wanted it how I want it, and I had to, when you upload the cover, it will tell you it's not the right way, because I publish through Amazon. And then when I finally get it right, I was like, yeah, awesome. And then I just go with the flow.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you had to do a lot of research to get to where it is that you are right now. I mean, you describe your experience with Amazon and how it is that you had to, try and like not get through the first time and then try again. I mean, what are some of these skills that you would have had to acquire? Would you have had to like do courses in like maybe graphic design, I don't know. Can you enlighten us as to what some of those may be?
Okay, so I always had a knack for planning things. So I had this friend that was a graphic designer, and he showed me a thing or two about playing in Photoshop, and from then I always keep playing in it and getting myself there. So when I actually took that path,
yes,
I went on YouTube and searched, book covers and how to fix up my image and get it in the right position. And from then, I worked from scratch my own cover. And then I say, no, let me see if there isn't mock-ups. So I went and just researched mock-ups, and from there, yeah. So I get my documentary research, get me there. But majority things, I don't really have a, should I say, an advanced certification for graphic design. But I did do a course just recently, a basic course for that. But I had the skills already, so it was just to get the certificate.
Even though you don't have the certificate, it sounds like you're able to maneuver around the platform and get the basic stuff done, so you're able to make some progress at least. Well, it's just interesting because even though you set out to be a writer, well, you're a poet, as you say. It seems that while doing this, you're acquiring different skills as you go along the way.
Oh yes.
As that's the case, are there any other skills that you see yourself having to gain or to acquire over time? For example, like in sales, in marketing, promotion, anything like that?
Yeah, when I did the course to get the skills for the basic graphic design, I did a marketing course as well. So like you said, I'm gradually picking up certain skills. I try to self-educate myself as much or grab onto the opportunities of education, whereas I could implement certain things in my life to get me where I need to be. So marketing, I am gradually and slowly learning about it, and as I go about it, being part of the bookish community and the author community, as well as entrepreneur community, I'm grasping various skills and knowledge from people out there. So I am learning ways of marketing my book, of putting it out there and trying to integrate into the whole system.
Seeing that you're a person who you've decided to continually educate yourself, can you tell us a bit about your early education? Where did you go to school, that sort of thing?
Sure. I first went to school, well, we started in preschool, then we went to primary school, and I was educated in the Adventist educational system. And from then I went to the secondary school, that's also Adventist educational system, and then on to college. I started, and then I had to stop a little bit, work a bit, and then I gradually started back. Now that I started back, I actually more comfortable and it's actually in the field of study that I really want to study, which is English, because I would love to be a creative writer. Well, I am a creative writer, so it just fits. It's very much a good experience because I learn new things. Because if you are open to learning new things, despite you maybe like familiar with certain things, or you may be doing whatever it is, you might think, okay, I know it all. No, you don't know it all. There's always something new you can pick up. So learning English on a whole different level, I have refined some skills and constantly learning. And it would just say English is used in every part of life. So especially being creative and all that. Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's just go back a bit. I mean, you were talking about your book, and I'm just curious, in terms of your writing, you said that your intent right now isn't so much to make a profit, but it's to get your name out there. Are you able to track the response to your published works? Have the sales, has the popularity, have they grown? Have they been consistent in growth, etc.?
Okay, so far, there's this new community for authors and writers. That's the Bookstagram community. I've always been part of Instagram. Often on our share posts or so. But then when I officially became an author, I joined the Bookstagram. So I officially became an author in a co-author in 2020, I think, or a little after, before. Yeah, I'll just say 2020. And I didn't really start posting them, but I was watching the things and getting there, and so on and so forth. When 2021 come around, then I published my book in 2022, last year. I started, reading and posting book reviews and seeing other authors read and post book reviews, and from that I gradually learn and start getting with the thing. So being, part of the community, you tend to grasp a lot of things. And I mean, it's a vast, when I say vast, I mean it's really vast, because it drew me to the community of Caribbean writers, and I can clearly see, thanks to their support, that I can, grow. If you're not willing to take criticism or, learn from them, you wouldn't grow as an author. So all I can say is, sometimes you just have to have an open mind and, I think that's it.
That's fine. Okay, well, seeing that we spoke a bit about details surrounding your book, let's talk a little bit about the book in question, Island Girl Affection. I went through a couple of the poems that are there, and in the beginning you say that it's all the poems that the theme is about love, etc. Some of them have some length, some of them are really short. Of the ones that are published, is there anyone that stands out when compared to the others?
Yeah, I would say family.
Okay.
I think that's supposed to be the last poem in the book.
I mean,
Right.
can you tell us a little bit about it without giving spoilers, of course, because we want persons to go and buy the book, of course, Oh.
Well, how should I say? I'm a lover for family. So I said, like I said, I wanted everybody. I wanted a piece of the poem. I took a piece of each manuscript and make the book. So family was based on my family. That's my immediate family. I'm a family of three: my mom, my dad, and myself. And they has inspired me so much over the years. So I based it on them, and it brought me where I am. I am glad I could make them proud. So when I wrote the poem, I put in all my emotions, my knowledge, and my thanks. So yeah, that's what family is.
Okay, and I mean that's really great to hear that your family would have been that they would have been the inspiration, or they would have been supporting you as you were undertaking this project. And support is in a lot of projects, whether it is we doing it by ourselves. It's just great to have. Question I ask other persons as well. In Trinidad, for example, we have like a number of literary texts that we use to help persons with reading and comprehension. Like in Trinidad, there's a textbook called, for example, Bite in version 1 and version 2. It contains, believe it or not, a number of poems to help persons with their reading and their comprehension. How would you feel if it is that, a couple of your poems were adopted by your country to help persons with their reading and with their comprehension?
Well, I would feel, you're asking me how I would feel.
How would you
I
feel?
would feel delighted, because at least to me, the education that I got from my lecturer, and I passed it on through my poems, it will be passed on to others. So I don't have a problem. I feel delighted, actually. Just at least once they can learn and they can get to use it in that way to inspire them, of course.
Another question. For a person like yourself, you seem to have accomplished a lot by self-education. What advice would you give to someone who's listening to this program who would want to follow in your footsteps in that regard, to publish their own poetry and to do some of the things that you were able to do? What advice would you give to them?
I would tell them they can do anything they set their mind to. Don't let anybody or anything stand in their way. I mean, sometimes some people may tell you, you will never amount to anything, or you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot achieve anything. I would tell them, brush that aside, focus on what they want to achieve in life. You live in for yourself, not for others, and go at it with zeal. Once you are happy with what you're doing, then you can achieve it.
All right, and if it is persons wanting to get copies of your books, where can they get copies?
Okay, so if they're in Dominica, they can easily ask me for copies of the book.
Of course.
I am easily accessible. But if they are wherever they are, they could always order it online via Amazon. And Island Affection is a book that's quite virtual actually. It's on Kobo. It's quite virtual actually because it's no longer on Kindle Unlimited because of how it is posted. But you can find some Barnes and Noble. I think it have that French. I can't remember the French site it's on, and a few libraries and so forth. So Island Girl Affection is more global than the other books. But Cherished Virtues, Resilient Rose, Paradise Isle, and the new one that's coming out, Exotic Perspective, are all on Amazon. Yeah, Exotic Perspective is the book to Paradise Isle. It's a series of 3. So all those books, they are on Amazon. I wanted them just for Amazon for now because I want them to be on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle subscriber, you can read it free via Kindle Unlimited.
Okay.
So it's all accessible on Amazon.
Okay. It sounds like your literature is very accessible to the persons who desire to get a copy of it.
Oh yes.
Alright, so seeing that you would have been doing a couple of these books, and you said that you have a work in progress, what's next for Selina Rose? What should we expect for Selina in 2023, and maybe even early in 2024?
Okay, so for Selina Rose in 2023 and onwards, I have a few more poetry books to publish, and they'll be coming in one after the other. It's delightful. And I plan on getting my novel finally completed, but I'm editing. It's a work in progress. I cannot share nothing yet because I'm not comfortable with something yet. I might change it by here. So yeah, it's a work in progress. But hopefully, let's say in the next 5 years, God still alive, I wish to have it published and out there. So that's the work progress for Selina Rose. But on a different level, it's to integrate into my small business and to get it all out there, because Selina Rose, the author, her books are published underneath her small business.
Okay. Alright. I mean, that's really great to hear. Selina, thank you for joining us on Tropical Literature Creatives. We really enjoyed having you, and we're really excited about the progress that you're making with your writings. When it is that your books come out, don't be a stranger, let us know, and we'd really like to talk to you a bit more about them.
Awesome, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Selina. You've been listening to TLC, Tropical Literature Creators. If you've heard something of interest or something you like, reach out to us. Reach out to our authors. Follow us on social media. We look forward to hearing from you.